forecast for Wednesday, March 20th. So welcome to the very first official day of the brand new astrological calendar, the very first day of Aries season, and of course that equinox is popping off, really helping to bring some balance to our lives, giving us a new playing field, new karmic chapter, new foundation to start building upon. And in this Aries season, we are definitely going to feel the spark, the fire, the flame be resurrected, renewed within us in order for us to take action and make moves to bring this new version of self, the new wants, needs, and desires out to play. So the moon is in Leo energy. Again, some fire on fire action here, helping us to really get things started, really orient with our heart space, with new passions, new desires, and to be bold and brave and courageous enough to actually step out into the spotlight. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. We have a story to tell. We have a new truth to stand in. We have a new mission, new quest, new purpose that we now want to pursue. Definitely a lot of things kind of kicking off here. We do have to just remind ourselves that, we can't do everything in one day. And especially seeing as we are under the influence of the pre-retrograde shadow period coming from Mercury, and of course, now getting sucked into this acceleration time warp as we grow closer to eclipse energies, that we do have to act as the observer. There is a particular energy of restlessness, ants in our pants that are kind of festering up, wanting us to take action and make moves. We are at this particular point just trying to initiate what that's even going to look like. The plan, the strategy has to come together, but you best believe with this fire energy, we are being pushed forward in ways that we've just been dreaming about, especially throughout Pisces season, especially as we wrapped up the old astrological calendar. So, with all of that being said, there are 8 different aspects taking place here today. 7 of them are going to involve the moon. The moon in this Leo energy going to make a positive interaction with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, ruling over roles and responsibilities, systems, structures, foundations, willpower, discipline, still very much in the Piscean energy. I love this because it means that we are focused on what we want to build, what we want to create, the new roles and responsibilities that we got to boss up into, the new dreams, the new visions that we're having that we now want to pursue. Again, this is a emotional awareness on where it is that we're feeling excitement, inspiration, motivation, and what it is that we need to do to anchor in this present moment, in this reality, in order to start realizing where the very first steps of this new path, new plan, new strategy have to be formed, have to be created. And of course, we're thinking long term. We are thinking about new dreams and goals and visions that we can't wait to manifest and actually bring to life. And so this is a very good start to this new astrological year, to this new energy that we are kind of working with in order to boss us up, to understand where it is that we are preparing to build and create something brand new. The moon is then going to make a tough interaction with Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money in the Pisces energy as well. Now, this isn't going to feel as well because here we have the, I'm going to say spark, the fire, the flame coming from this heart space. We're excited. We're anticipating new changes. But Venus, she's going through the ending of her cycle through this Pisces energy. She's up, she's down, she's back, she's forth. She has a lot of emotions she needs to process. She's understanding where she's having a change of heart, where new values, new priorities are coming into the forefront, but understanding what it is that we have to let go, release, purge in order to align with these new goals, with these new visions. This is going to be a heart activation that will likely not feel so good. We could feel overwhelmed at this particular point because we have a lot of energies pushing us forward. But again, we still have placements in the latter part of the zodiac wheel, Aquarius and Pisces energy specifically, which is pulling us back. There is this anticipation where we're jumping into new things, but we still haven't cleaned up the mess of the past, of the old, in order for us to have this clean slate so that we're not constantly looking behind us in the past in order for things to kind of, pop up and make us kind of focus on the past instead of the future. So definitely a lot going on in the heart space. Then we have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information communication, how it is that we're expressing ourselves in this Aries energy, but slowing down. Again, we've already entered into the pre-retrograde shadow period. Mercury will be going retrograde on April 1st, April Fool's Day. So at this particular point, we are starting to see a little bit of a reflection point take place, especially reviewing our thoughts, reviewing our ideas, restructuring the inner dialogue, the inner narrative, the focus needed. Mercury's coming up to, bumping into, conjuncting with Chiron, the wounded healer, in this Aries energy as well. And so a couple of different things are happening here because, of course, a conjunction means that there's an ending of a chapter and a beginning of a chapter. What we're getting out of this is intuitive understanding. There's like a sense of knowing that is coming over us at this particular point in time on certain things that we may have been confused about in the past, certain things that we're confused about in the present moment, or even in a futuristic vision type of sense. There's an aha moment popping off. There is, I'm going to say, an element where things are starting to connect the dots. Things are starting to align. Although it may be a little bit uncomfortable in our headspace to try and kind of piece these things together and articulate correctly what it is that we're trying to say here. Conversations might be a little bit uncomfortable, even the inner dialogue with yourself, because there is a hypersensitivity that comes with Chiron. Again, wounded healer. There are definitely some wounds that are still alive and well, but there's absolutely a huge amount of wounds that we have been actively healing. So it's putting us in a situation where there are new perspectives forming. We are understanding new options, new opportunities now from a different set of eyes, so to speak. And we are definitely putting ourselves in a different situation and circumstance to think through our feelings in a much different way than we were kind of all consumed about while in Pisces energy. Yes, there are hypersensitivities. Yes, we may feel overwhelmed at certain points with certain thoughts, certain perspectives, certain understandings, but our intuition is heightened, and therefore we have a greater, grander possibility, opportunity to understand things on a very deep, more meaningful, more spiritual level. The moon in Leo energy going to make a tough interaction with Saturn. So we had a really good interaction to kick off the day. This is, well, technically late afternoon that things start getting a little bit tense, a little bit, I'm going to say conflicting, if you will. The moon and Saturn coming together, definitely starting to feel the pressure. We're starting to feel the weight. We're starting to feel the intensity. Again, the restlessness, the anticipation of jumping into a new cycle. There is, I'm going to say, an initiating energy, but we're still hella confused. It's not like we woke up and suddenly we had all the answers. We had the path and the plan and the strategy just delivered to us in our inbox. We're still trying to piece things together. And so there is this active forward movement that we definitely want to take. But Mr. Saturn's kind of pumping the brakes and saying, listen, you can't do too much too soon. You still haven't, seen the full vision. You still haven't processed all of the variables or all of the different options. So this is a little bit of a reality check. It's a little bit of a situation where the wind is essentially getting knocked out of our sails, not because we need to sit in funky town, but because we need to slow our roll. We can't jump into new things too soon, and especially because we're under the delusion that we have a lot more control over the energy, over our actions than we actually do, because again, eclipse energy means that we are at the mercy of the cosmos. The moon then interacts with Neptune in its place of power in Pisces energy. This is going to be an awkward interaction where we're having a hard time reminding ourselves of what it is that we were actually excited about, what we were actually inspired to pursue. This is an element where our ego programming is kind of kicking in and kind of, walking us through all of these dreams and visions that we were very inspired and motivated to kind of jump into that now we're just not making sense of. There's an element of confusion here because, again, the energies are very push and pull at this particular juncture in the calendar. The moon is then going to square off, get into the boxing ring with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings in this Taurus energy, a fixed earth sign. So definitely low, slow growth, low, slow changes, low, slow progress, low, slow transformation. And so the moon, typically speaking, when there is a positive interaction with Jupiter, we kind of get refreshed and renewed with positivity and optimism and confidence, and we're dreaming big and we're feeling all the good things. But this is a square. This is tension. This is us not being able to see the forest past the trees, not being able to see the amount of growth, the option, the possibilities that we currently have in front of us. We're not feeling confident. We're not feeling optimistic. We're not even feeling bold and brave and courageous like the moon in Leo usually lends us. And so this is a difficult situation because, again, a lot of, I'm going to say, disappointment coming later in the day. I think many of us, again, had unrealistic expectations of what jumping into a new astrological calendar was going to feel like. I think that everybody kind of hopes and dreams and wishes that, Funky Town is going to be behind us, so to speak. But realistically speaking, we have, yes, entered into a new chapter, yes, have entered into new energy. But again, the instruction manual has not been delivered to us. We are still trying to figure things out. We are still kind of working through a lot of the obstacles, challenges, and blockages that we have been banging our head against a wall about. And so we're not feeling as happy-go-lucky as we would typically like to feel at this particular point, at this particular juncture. We're going to sit in that for just a little bit. The moon is then going to trine beautiful interaction with the North Node in Aries energy. This is fire on fire action. And what does fire do? Well, first of all, it burns away the heavier emotions. It kind of purifies us in ways that we didn't even know we needed. It puts us in a renewal state, a regenerative state, and especially where the North Node is trying to get us on the right path to move forward, to be more independent, to have a new quest, new mission, new purpose, we're starting to remember what it is that we were excited about, what it is that we wanted to pursue. And now we're building ourselves up in a much better, more realistic way, especially where expectations are concerned. Understanding that things don't change overnight, but things do feel differently overnight. And we're reminding ourselves that absolutely things are feeling different in a much better way. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in this Leo energy, making an awkward interaction with the sun, now in Aries energy. This is fire on fire action once again. And the moon and the sun, anytime that they come together, there's a new emotional awareness, a new aha moment, a new value, a new focus. And at this particular point in time, because of the fire energy, we're trying to focus on what it is that our heart wants us to pursue. This new creative force energy that we now want to fully express. What it is that we want to initiate, what we want to bring to life, what we want to begin. And so it is going to be a little bit of a day to get in alignment and then find ourselves falling out of alignment and then talking ourselves back into alignment. Because again, there is a lot of energy that is very much creating this push and pull, this back and forth.